This is more than a shara just trying to make friends on all sides. This is an attempt by him and his new government to stabilize a very shaky situation currently unfolding in Syria. And part of those efforts, we can report that a senior delegation of Israel's Druze community is set to travel to Abu Dhabi in the coming days to meet with representatives of the new Syrian administration through Emirati mediation. This is according to one Druze source and another Saudi source talking to I-24 News. The Israeli delegation will be headed by Israel's Druze community's spiritual leader, Sheikh Muwafaq Tarif. Now, a spokesperson on behalf of Tarif declined to confirm the delegation visit to Abu Dhabi, but did state that Tarif is engaged in ongoing discussions on all levels, local in Israel and regional, in attempts to de-escalate the situation in Syria, specifically regarding the violence against the Druze minority there. The spokesperson said that the Druze community in Israel welcome ongoing efforts by Gulf countries to stabilize the situation in Syria. But indeed, we are seeing that in addition to official Israeli-Syria talks through Emirati mediation, we see that the UAE is also engaged specifically on the issue of the Druze community.
Certainly interesting developments. We're going to be following that, of course, with you here. Still with us is Rawan Osman, a Syrian-Lebanese peace activist. We talked about the population's readiness to restore ties with the West, although it's a complicated issue. But what about when it comes to Israel? You mentioned it shortly before, but is something like that even on the horizon for the regular Syrian, let's say that?
Definitely, you would be surprised with how open not only the Syrians, but also the Lebanese are, especially those who are living in the Middle East, not abroad, because they are sick and tired of the Palestinian cause and the price they've paid generation after generation. I have a TikTok account where my following is purely Arabs, and those who live on the ground there know that I wear my Star of David, speak in Arabic about normalization, and many of them support my tone. On March the 3rd, I addressed the Human Rights Council in Geneva in the UN before Syria was present there, and I appealed to the new leadership in Syria. If they are sincere about their transformation, they have to take a step in the right direction, and I urged them to return the remains of Eli Cohen to his wife, allowing her to bury him before she dies. And I urged all Arabs to be better Arabs, better Muslims, definitely better than Hamas. Let Hamas abuse dead bodies, and let's move on. Let's develop a new vision for the region. And the echoes were positive. I believe many support my views. I couldn't imagine that happening 10 years ago. But after the historical signing of the Abraham Accords, many would rather Damascus and Beirut look like Dubai, not like Gaza.
All right, you were saying that the population is more open and more ready than many outsiders would think. When it comes to al-Shura, you seem a little bit more skeptical, but he is promising moderation and inclusion. Looking at where Syria stands right now, in which direction do you see the country developing over the next months, perhaps years?
This is the fate of millions. Talk is cheap. Trump shook his hand not because he is naive, but because, as he said, he's given a golden opportunity. He should seize it. And the EU agrees with the tone of Marco Rubio. Syria was facing an imminent civil war. We've seen what happened on the Syrian coast to the Alawites. The Christians were humiliated, some were killed, the Druze were slaughtered, and the Kurds, we know how tense the situation was and still is in the north. So it seems as if the new leadership could redeem itself if they are sincere, if they do implement, if they are up to the task, because if we are honest, we've seen that they lost control over many armed factions, especially the foreign jihadists, And those who still cry on the streets of Damascus, Khaybar, Khaybar, O Jews, the army of Muhammad will return, and they promise liberating Al-Quds, or Jerusalem. Can the new leadership keep all those under control, expel Palestinian terrorists? And that was the phrasing used by the Americans. And it was adopted by the Syrians. Can they deliver and keep ISIS under control? We will have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see, and we'll certainly be covering it here at I-24 News. Rawan Osman, thank you so much for joining us.